Alrighty, guys, this is what I'm talking about. So we had a pretty good day overall for the stock market today. We had the Russell up over 1%. Same with the Dow Jones. The S&P almost went up 1% as the NASDAQ, which it usually doesn't do this, it trailed all the indexes. It went up 0.3% as the VIX went down over 5%. So you guys know the drill. In this video, we're going to break down the markets. We're going to break down a bunch of charts, and we're going to talk stocks. We're going to go over some bank stocks, tech stocks that I'm looking at. So if you all find value, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 17 stocks from MooMoo. Link down below. More on that later. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So right off the bat, guys, what stands out to me on SPY here, which you all know, you should know at least, tracks the S&P 500. What stands out to me is the ascending triangle that's forming on the intraday chart. You guys can see all day today we made higher lows, but we struggled to break out all day of $395 a share, which you guys can see right here. If I zoom in, literally all day we struggled to break out of that point. We failed at about 11:30 a.m., also at about 1:15, 1:30 p.m., and at about, 3:50 p.m., just 10 minutes before the markets closed. We saw a huge run. We hit 395, and we got rejected yet again, as you guys can see. So we made higher lows all day, but again, failed at 395, so that puts us in this triangle. You guys see it right here. And if we do break out of 395 on SPY, which is totally possible, we could be making a run towards, in the short term, very short term here, 396.50, which was the high from, I think, Thursday. Thursday, Friday also on the pre-market, we failed at that point. So that could be the next gap to fill. And if we break out of 396, 397, we're talking this could make a move towards $400 a share. And even if it does that, guys, let me be honest with you all, it would still be in a downtrend. Right now, it's definitely still in a downtrend, but if it were to break out of 395, go to 400, it would still be in a downtrend. Now, you may be asking yourself, when will it break the downtrend? Well, let me pull the 4-hour up and show you all. If we do start breaking out of 395, of course, 400, and then we start breaking 405, 410, that is when we'd see, in my opinion at least, the reversal, the real reversal that could take us back to the highs from earlier this year, 417, 415. Then if that were to break, man, that'd be even better for the bulls, obviously. We'd be going maybe towards the highs from the middle of August. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now on SPY, keeping a very close eye there on the 1-day, 1-minute chart on that ascending triangle. And if we pull up triple Q, let's see, do we have a triangle on this as well? Yeah, we kind of do. You guys can see it right here. We have clear resistance all day pretty much at about 305.75, 306. We failed there in the pre-market multiple times, as you guys can see, and during the day at about 11:30 a.m. and right before the close, not at close, but right before the close, we ended up failing at 305, 306, which you guys can see if I draw it out here, the ascending triangle, just like SPY, we have it here on triple Q. So if we break out of this point at some point tomorrow, maybe at some point later this week, if triple Q starts going above 306, 307, this could really start to take off because look, we are now at a big resistance on the 4-hour chart like I've been outlining here on the YouTube channel, which is why if you haven't subscribed yet, yes, you watching, about 40% of you guys I think don't subscribe. If that's you, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss this content. We've been talking about this, and in the past couple of days, over the past couple of days, we've been failing at this point. So if we do see that ascending triangle on the intraday chart play out, we start going to the highs from last week, which were right around 307, 308. We start taking those highs out. Hey, now we're talking a complete bullish takeover could be right around the corner. We could be going 310, 311, 312, which were the highs from earlier in this year, from February, early mid-February. We start taking out those levels. Man, this could really start to go ballistic. Maybe we see triple Q start to run towards 320, maybe 330. That's where it could be going in the short term. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And as for stocks today, I'm sure you all saw the news. UBS is buying Credit Suisse. We talked about that earlier. Make sure you guys go check out that video from earlier today. So UBS stock ended up going up 3.3% on the day. Not too bad there, but Credit Suisse, let me pull this up and show you all. This went down over 50% on the day, down over $1. Now it's at $94, or not $94. They probably wish it was at $94. It's at 94 cents, which a couple years ago, more than just a couple years ago, we're talking 16 years ago, decade and a half ago, this stock was at $80 roughly, 79 something. I forget exactly, but it was up there. And now, again, it's under $1. That is insane. So we have Credit Suisse collapsing. Don't even get me started on First Republic Bank. Look at this one, guys. FRC went down another 47% today. That is just brutal, guys. We're talking a drop from, it was at over $20 a share today. Now it's at $12 a share. And this is why you got to be careful with these banks. What's the other one? Zions, Western Alliance. We'll pull that up in a second. You got to be careful because they'll fake you out. We saw a fake out on First Republic when I talked about it a week ago. You guys probably remember that when I mentioned how I regretted not buying First Republic. And let me clarify this. If I did buy it that day, 1,000% I would have sold out the same day, right? And somebody commented on my video, I think a couple days ago. I forget if I replied or not on the comments. I'm replying right now, though, on this video. They asked me, Stas, if you bought First Republic that day, would you have sold it for a profit? Yes. And am I claiming that I would have gotten all of the gain? Heck no, guys. I for sure would have sold early. I mean, I always sell. I'm more conservative when I'm trading, right? I'm not looking to get or be too greedy, right? Now, I'm not looking to get the entire move. So it was this day right here, right? We went from $17 to $40. And yes, if I bought it that day, which I didn't, but if I did, I definitely would have sold out for a quick gain, probably way before it got to $40. I mean, if I bought in the low 20s, which is where I was looking at it, and I didn't pull the trigger, I probably would have sold, on this run up to the high 20s, maybe low 30s. Realistically, high 20s, I would have took the quick profit, and then I would have been crying at the screen, watching it going all the way up to $40, which you guys know how that goes. When you buy, you sell early. Well, I don't want to say you sell early, but, you lock in your gains, then you see it go up even more. But that's the name of the game. That happens all the time, guys. And if you're trading in the stock market, you better get used to that because that happens a lot. Let me tell you, that happens a lot. So these bank stocks, they're faking out a lot of people. They faked out, I'm sure, a bunch of people on this day right here when it spiked. The next day in the pre-market, I'm sure a lot of people bought in and they got trapped. Here we go. Now we're down to $12, right? It went from $40 to, it was actually $55 in the pre-market on the 14th, about 6 days ago. 6 days ago exactly. And now it's at $12. I mean, this stuff is going fast. We have Zions. Let me pull that one up. I don't even know what the ticker is on this thing. I think it's just Zion, right? Yeah, Zion is down from today. It's not doing that bad. It's up 0.8% and actually somehow inked out a green day. But this thing is down from $55 to $30. We have Western Alliance, right? I always mix this one up. What the heck is this one called? Western or West Alliance. What is it? Either way, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? A lot of these banks are getting destroyed. FRC is taking the biggest hit right now. It probably will go under. I mean, we saw $30 billion of deposits from JP Morgan, all these banks. You guys remember that a couple days ago. That looks like it's not enough. What's going to happen now? I mean, if nothing else happens with the Fed, we might get more news on that later this week. FRC could be the next to go under. So those banks, guys, and banks in general, even the big boys, they're very rocky right now. Maybe not today, but JP Morgan, it had a green day today, but it's been very choppy these past couple of days, as I'm sure you guys could imagine. Look at that. We have JP Morgan all over the place. We have Citigroup all over the place as well. Today it went down a little bit. We have, what are the other big boys out there? Bank of America went down a little bit today. This has been very choppy. Wells Fargo, you name it, guys. Wells Fargo today went down 0.75%. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful with these bank stocks, especially the regional banks, guys, especially the regional banks, because again, I can't say it enough. We will see big rallies. There will be some rallies, maybe this week, next week, that could sucker in buyers, but we don't know how deep this financial crisis could get, which, who knows, this could be the start of the next financial crisis. This could just be the beginning, guys. So we have to be very careful, be very patient, and just realize gambling on these bank stocks, that's what it is. It is gambling. Maybe not, the JP Morgans, the Wells Fargos, but if you're looking at Zions or Western Alliance or, especially First Republic Bank, if you're buying that, hoping for a nice 50% move or 100% move, That is what I call speculating, heavily speculating in the short term and gambling, at least in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So now's probably a good time to tell you to get your 17 up to 17 stocks from MooMoo. If you haven't done that already, use that link down below or go to StockSurfest.com/MooMoo. Once you open up an account, you get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free shares of stock, and you get 2 shares of either AI or BBAI, which is limited time, guys. So you get 7 stocks if you deposit at least $100, and listen to this, it gets better. If you deposit at least $1,000, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 17 free stocks. So yeah, if you want some free money, guys, you want to help out the channel, use that affiliate link down below. Let me know what free stocks you get. And with that being said, let's continue on. So on top of these bank stocks going all over the place, we also had tech stocks move like crazy today. A lot of them ended up doing well today. They ended up going up. Let's break down some of those now, guys. Then we'll wrap up the video here in a couple of minutes. I appreciate you all for tuning in as always. So Apple right now is doing quite well. Do you guys remember a couple videos ago, probably within the last week? I mean, we make a bunch of videos. You guys know that if you're watching the channel on a day-to-day basis. We talked about how Microsoft, you guys remember this, let me know in the comments, Microsoft ended up exploding, right? We called out the wedge, we called out the breakout, it happened. It ran up to 280. We took the highs out from the middle of February. And if you guys remember, I talked about in that video how Apple was a step behind Microsoft, actually a couple steps behind Microsoft, and it still is. And now we're starting to see the breakout on Apple. Today we went up 1.5%. Now we're breaking out of the moving averages, the wedge. We're taking out the highs from a couple weeks ago. Now that I'm looking at it, Apple's at a multi-month high right now, guys. Crazy. But yes, it's at a multi-month high. And now it looks like there's no resistance between us right now and probably around 165. So Apple could really start to gain momentum here. I mean, it's already gaining momentum. I could see it going higher. And I've been very vocal about how I've been trimming Apple. Well, maybe not recently. Well, I think I did actually, maybe about a month ago. But months and months ago, I trimmed Apple on this big run-up that we saw back in the middle of August. That was a while ago at this point. I trimmed a good amount there, and I've been vocal how I don't think this is the best value right now for the long term, but that doesn't mean that I won't trade it, guys. I would definitely trade it. And now that I cleared the drawing set, you guys can see here we have an inverse head and shoulders on Apple, clear as day. I mean, do you guys see this? An overarching inverse head and shoulders over the past couple of months. Boom, left shoulder head, right shoulder. Now we're right on the brinks of a full breakout, which could get us to that 165, maybe even higher mark. So keep your eyes out on Apple, guys. I'm going to set my alert at, let's do it at maybe at 160. That's a good spot in my opinion. Mark is at or above $160. Let's see what it does from that point. And on the flip side, guys, Google did not do so well today. Google went down 0.5%, and it's fiddling right now. It's fighting with this 100 to 102, 105 level of resistance, which if I draw it out for you all, you will see that's where this thing has been struggling for months. I mean, we had a one-off run after earnings where it got to 110, 115. Sure, that's great. But other than that, it's been struggling under 103, 105 bucks since the middle of September. And that's still the case now. So are we going to break out of this point? That's the million-dollar question. And Google is a stock that you guys know I own. It's my biggest individual stock holding. And I'm not looking to necessarily buy more here in the hundreds for my long-term position. I would like it way more in the 80s, 90s. But with that being said, like Apple, I would consider trading it. Why not? If it breaks 105, we break that multi-month resistance, we could be making another shot to 110, 115. Heck, it might go even higher than that. So Google looks fairly good right now, in my opinion, if it breaks that 105 level. Of course, we already talked about Microsoft. At this point, I wouldn't chase it. Maybe if it were to pull back a little bit like it did today. Did you guys notice that? Microsoft pulled back 3% almost. It's because it's been doing very well. It got too hot over the past couple of days. So now that it's pulling back, maybe a re-entry point could open up in the mid 260s, lower 270s. We'll see. We'll see what happens there with Microsoft. And of course, Meta, guys. Let me pull up Meta, ticker symbol META. This had a nice breakout. We also called it out, not to toot my own horn. We broke out of 195, ran to 205. Now look at what's happening. We pulled back. We held 195 today as of now, and we had a 1.1% green day on top of that old resistance from back in the beginning of February, we held it as support. That's a very good sign here on Meta. So we've talked about it. I made a Meta video yesterday. No need to go too deep into it, but this could make its way now, especially if it breaks 205, back towards 220, 225. Maybe it goes up even more. That's what the chart is telling me. That's not necessarily what's going to happen for sure, but that is what I'm thinking could be a possible scenario moving forward. And of course, we can't make a video without talking about Amazon. If we're talking about big tech guys, Amazon did not do well today either. 1.2% red day for Amazon, and I'm actually liking this because, like Google, I'm looking to buy Amazon, but not at these levels necessarily. If it comes down maybe to the mid 90s, low 90s, I'm looking to buy Amazon, and it's looking like it wants to trend towards that direction. Maybe, just maybe, guys. We'll see. But Amazon, along with Microsoft, had a red day today out of the big tech names, and it's getting to that sweet spot. Not yet, but it's almost to the sweet spot. So let's see what else moved today, guys. What red stocks did we have overall today? Foot Locker, that's right. They reported earnings. I almost forgot. Foot Locker reported earnings, and my goodness, is it collapsing. They reported in the morning, and they shot all the way to $47 initially, which was a nice move. We're talking a move of about 11%. That's no joke, almost 12%. And it lost all that. It essentially lost all that and some throughout the rest of the day. We closed at $39.80. That was down roughly 15% from the intraday high. Yeah, that is not looking good at all for Foot Locker. So what did they end up doing? I forget exactly. Let's see here, guys. Let's zoom down or scroll down a little bit. They ended up doing, it looks like, where the heck is it here, guys? They ended up doing adjusted EPS of, 97 cents on sales of $2.33 billion, and they see 2023 adjusted EPS of $3.35 to $3.65. And let's see. Okay, wow, look at that. Adjusted EPS beat. It came in at 97 cents. That crushed the 51-cent estimate, and sales beat $2.33 billion versus $2.15 billion estimated. I'm not sure why the stock is falling, though. Let's see. New strategies to drive low to mid 20s adjusted EPS growth beyond 2023. So they're looking to implement a new strategy. There's no way I'm going to see that strategy on the live news tab. I'm going to have to dive into the actual earnings, but I'm not sure why it's selling off. Let's see. Weak guidance, it says here, overshadows plan to expand sneaker line and relaunch core brands. So it looks like they're doing some, revamping of their brand. Looks like they're trying to spice things up, which that is never a bad idea. And yeah, again, it says here, weak guidance overshadows that plan. So we're going to have to dive deeper into the report to see exactly what they're looking to do, guys. But that's Foot Locker's earnings. Again, tomorrow we have Nike, which we talked about yesterday. They're reporting. You guys got to watch out for this one. They're going to be the biggest company probably for this week, at least that I'm looking at. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. We talked about a bunch in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to at least, 30,000. Is that the next milestone? We're almost there, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to also check out my Patreon. All the details are down below. And of course, if you haven't gotten up to 17 stocks for MooMoo yet, use that link down below. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. Deposit at least $100. You get another 7 free shares or 6 free shares, totaling 7 stocks with the 1 you get from opening an account. And if you deposit at least $1,000, guys, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 17 free stocks. No strings attached. Use that link down below. Of course, it also helps out the channel. Full disclosure, guys, it's an affiliate link. I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, I'll catch you later.